do something like that.
Would they?
Let's talk about it, y'all.
Middle America.
What are you people? We're Americans.
Last time. Americans, indeed. I am Vin. This is
D.L. Beluga.
D.L. Beluga. Coming live from Middle America. We're not left wing, we're not right wing, we're just right. Okay, guys. So, as I promised yesterday, we've got Tucker Carlson on the docket. And, you know, this is going to be an interesting one. Now, this mic, for some reason, is not working. So, put that to the middle. I'm going to have to share yours, big homie. Okay. So, Tucker Carlson made this claim earlier that the NSA is spying on him. And so I wasn't really going to cover it because I didn't really think it was that big of a deal, to be honest with you.
Why?
Well, I mean, it was a random quote. I didn't pay much attention to it. There's bigger fish to fry. And then I saw Keith Olbermann's take on it.
Oh, yeah, Keith Olbermann.
So what we're about to see is Keith Olbermann's take on the Tucker situation.
This should be interesting.
And once I saw this, I said, okay, we've got to watch this. Okay, so here's Keith Olbermann.
Here.
And shout out to everybody. Is that Johan?
Yeah, Johan's here.
Shout out to Johan Dope. We're going to watch Keith Olbermann, and we're going to see what his take is on the situation. For some reason, we're having technical difficulties. Surprise, surprise. Vin and Sori are having technical difficulties. Here's a Keith Olbermann clip I was talking about, though.
Tucker Carlson claims the National Security Agency, the NSA, is spying on him, reading his emails, and trying to take his program off the air. As the old joke goes, just because you're paranoid, that does not mean they are not out to get you. Clearly, the NSA has found that Tucker Carlson is somehow connected to a foreign entity that intends to harm America.
Wait. That can't be right. That can't be right. Hold on. Keith Olbermann. Okay, now I was telling DL, I used to watch Keith Olbermann as a kid. When he was on ESPN.
Tucker Carlson claims the National Security Agency, the NSA, is spying on him, reading his emails, and trying to take his program off the air. As the old joke goes, just because you're paranoid, that does not mean they are not out to get you. Clearly, the NSA has found that Tucker Carlson is somehow connected to a foreign entity that intends to harm America.
What? So, because the NSA is spying on Tucker, that automatically means that he's doing something to harm America.
Carlson, who is the lowest of the low, an individual without morals or conscience or loyalty, who once launched a website with my name in it and stole my identity and posed as me in an interview with a gullible reporter.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I don't know who would try to imitate Keith Olbermann. Doesn't make any sense.
But I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Your man Tucker Carlson's a damn liar. But
yeah, not like that.
This is amazing. We continue.
Made his claim on his Fox Fascism Fest Monday night.
Fox Fascism Fest. That's what they call alliteration for the uninitiated.
NSA has responded Tuesday night that, quote, the allegation is untrue. Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to try to take his program off the air. The NSA added, in what seems like a throwaway bit of boilerplate, that it also, quote, has a foreign intelligence mission. We target foreign powers to generate insights on foreign activities that could harm the United States.
Okay, so the NSA published a statement after Tucker Carlson made his accusation that they were spying on him. This is how they responded. They responded on Twitter. On June 28, Tucker Carlson alleged that the National Security Agency has been monitoring our electronic communications and is planning to leak them in an attempt to take this show off the air. This allegation is untrue. Tucker Carlson has never been an intelligence target of the agency, and the NSA has never had any plans to try to take his program off the air. The NSA has a foreign intelligence mission. We target foreign powers to generate insights on foreign activities that could harm the United States, with limited exceptions. For example, in emergency, the NSA may not target a U.S. citizen without court order, and that explicitly authorizes the targeting. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you guys didn't monitor his stuff electronically, because that was his claim. And they didn't give us an explicit denial, so we continue.
That, in fact, is the most important part of the statement. Even Carlson, in his delusional, megalomaniacal way, kind of got the message, responding on his show that he claimed, quote, NSA has read my private emails without my permission. Tonight's statement from the NSA does not deny that. Instead, it comes with this non sequitur: Tucker Carlson has never been an intel target. Well, that's only a non sequitur if you're a non-smart person. The conclusion is obvious, and the conclusion is chilling. The NSA is reading Tucker Carlson's emails, and since he's not their target, whoever he is emailing with must be. And if the NSA can only target...
ridiculous. Wow.
Why are you laughing at him, DL?
This is so, so I realized what I was a little bit confused. So he wasn't saying, oh, Tucker Carlson's making this up for publicity or trying to smear the NSA. He's saying the NSA was spying on him, and that they added that last part in to sort of say, hey, we're not targeting Tucker Carlson, but the guy he's emailing, he's a foreign guy, and we're targeting him. And so Tucker Carlson is supposed to be colluding with, I guess, Russia?
It's got to be Russia.
It has to be Russia. Or Kim Jong-un.
It's got to be Russia. Tucker, get your boy. I mean, what in the world? Or Keith. Tucker might be completely innocent, and the NSA is impeding on his rights as an American citizen. You do realize that even people you disagree with politically still have rights in this country. Holy moly, we continue.
Foreign powers, then there is one conclusion only. Tucker Carlson is in contact with a foreign power, trying to commit activities that could harm the United States.
It's because this guy's never heard of Edward Snowden or anything like that.
What?
It's very strange.
What?
There's only one conclusion, that Tucker Carlson is colluding with Russia and Putin.
That's it. That's it.
That explains the G7 summit.
I don't understand this stuff, bro. Like, what do you mean? Like, there's a glaringly obvious alternative explanation, Mr. Olbermann.
In other words, whether he's a foreign asset or a mere stooge, and my money is on mere stooge, Tucker Carlson is working with a foreign entity to damage this country. And
what?
It's unbelievable. The accusation
what a strange
proves
thing.
the crime. This is literally McCarthyism. This is because the NSA accused you of something. That accusation in itself creates the culpability and the guilt. Huh? What? And you can say whatever you want about Tucker Carlson. And I've said a lot of things about Tucker Carlson on this show. I don't think we've ever had a positive Tucker Carlson show on Middle America. But one thing you cannot say is that Tucker would be happy at any form of the destruction of this country. Holy moly.
He's too stupid to shut up about it, and he's too stupid to flee the country because ultimately he's too stupid.
Look at his face. Is he still unemployed?
Tucker baby. No, the accusation does not prove the guilt. You've got to prove that he's doing something. And Keith, this is if the NSA is doing that, we have a serious problem as regular American citizens, bro. Holy moly! All right, let's get.
Is he still unemployed?
Yeah, I really don't know his status, to be honest with you. I haven't really watched him. After he left ESPN. Here is straight from the horse's mouth. Here's Tucker. He's got to have his day.
Last night we told you about the Biden administration's efforts to monitor and intimidate this show. On Sunday, we heard from a whistleblower within the U.S. government, someone with direct knowledge, who warned us that the NSA was reading our electronic communications, our emails and texts, and was planning to leak them selectively in an effort to hurt us. This person had details from my emails that no one outside the recipient could have known. So it was not a delusion, it was entirely real. In fact, it was confirmed. After the show last night, after we announced this, other news organizations acted as if it's totally normal for heavily politicized intel agencies to spy on and threaten journalists they disagree with. It's no big deal. Stop whining. But
yeah, I gotta say, with the exception of Jimmy Dore, obviously, I've been very, very concerned about the way that a lot of left-wing media outlets and talking heads are interpreting this situation. You know, this whole flippant, who cares? Oh, whatever, screw Tucker Carlson. Look, I don't like Tucker Carlson, but we've got to mature here, and the principle is clear. The principal problem here is that this is an intrusion into the rights of common American citizens.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like Tucker Carlson, but this man is not a threat to national security, and if it's true, if what he's saying is true, and he's saying we've proof of it, whatever, I don't know where the proof is, but it wouldn't surprise me. But if what he's saying is true, there's a serious problem here. And I think if you're a lefty, listen, one of the things that's really interesting about Tucker Carlson is he'll have Jimmy Dore, he'll have Glenn Greenwald. I think Glenn Greenwald is actually in this this particular clip. Jimmy Dore, these are all left in what the right and Tucker would consider far, far, far left. But Tucker is what a person would consider a pure right-wing purist. And so there's a sort of co-belligerency between progressives and Tucker to a degree. And I know that there are some very myopic people who believe that that's a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing that Tucker. What about you? Because you're a right wing guy. You probably agree with 99% of Tucker's nonsense. How do you? Well, you know, how do you interpret this, and what motivation would the government have to spy on Tucker?
Well, I just think the other guy you had on says this, but I think the NSA spies on a lot of people, and. Well, you said that apparently Tucker Carlson is the most popular talk show host or cable news host or something like that in the country. Tucker
is currently the biggest voice in media right now, especially establishment media. Literally everybody else is plummeting, and he's still holding the line.
So, especially since it's a Biden administration, more fodder to talk about. So, as we already discussed, Biden is doing a really good job with, moving his little pieces around on the chessboard to destroy his enemies and advance his own political career, like we saw with Kamala Harris. So, a possible motivation, I don't really think anything, but a possible motivation could be that Biden felt threatened by Tucker Carlson, maybe, for, midterms next year, 2024, and decided that he was going to anoint a Democratic nominee to win the presidency in 2024 and sort of bring down the show so that, because as he said, he's the only one surviving right now, to bring up more of the progressive voices to try to get the propaganda machine running again like they had it last election cycle.
Okay. That's kind of, all right. I can kind of see that. To a degree, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
We continue.
Is a big
also,
deal.
who's the secretary of the NSA?
Who's what?
Who's the secretary of the NSA?
Not sure.
Or are they under the Department of Defense?
Huh?
Or are they under the Department of Defense?
I don't think the NSA is part of the DOD at all.
Okay.
Illegally. And this is hardly the first time the so-called intelligence community has done something like this. They've done an awful lot of it. Look it up. If we let them continue to do it, it's the end of democracy. Democracy can't function with semi-independent, highly politicized intel agencies. It's really...
That's true. And,
That's actual. Well, no, is that fascism or would that be more authoritarianism?
Well, I mean, look, it's
kind of fascism, though.
Well, these intelligence agencies, I've said it over and over again, they do not see themselves as subservient to any sort of government or even the president.
Yeah.
There's things that they won't tell even the president of the United States. Because remember, the president, he's got a 4-year term. Yeah. So these guys are looking at the president like, look, bro, like, you're going to be here for another 4 years, man. Relax. Like, so they see themselves as like other outside over there, and they kind of run within their own ecosystem. They don't look at themselves as being accountable to the American people. And then they do stuff like this, obviously, which is obviously clearly not something we can support.
Dangerous. For its part, the Biden administration just ignored the story. They did not deny the story. They can't. They know that it's true. Today, the president's flak was asked about it on Air Force One. Here's the exchange.
Is that a slang word?
Tucker Carlson said...
What'd you say?
Did he just use a slang word to refer to a press secretary?
What did he say? What did he call her?
Flak, I think?
He called her what?
A flak? I don't know.
It's hardly the first time the so-called intelligence community has done something like this. They've done an awful lot of it. Look it up. If we let them continue to do it, it's the end of democracy. With semi-independent, highly politicized intel agencies. It's dangerous. For its part, the Biden administration just ignored the story. They did not deny the story. They can't. They know that it's true. Today, the president's flak was asked about it on Air Force One. Here's the exchange.
Tucker Carlson said that the NSA is spying on him. Is the administration aware of any espionage or listening efforts on U.S. citizens by the NSA, and is Tucker Carlson one of them?
Okay, so here's the question that they asked him. They asked her. This is McEnany. No, this is not McEnany. This is Psaki, right?
I'm confused with the bad one.
Is the administration aware of any espionage or listening efforts on U.S. citizens by the NSA? And is Tucker Carlson one of them? Those are the questions. That's the question. And as Courtney is saying, just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean that it's okay in any way, shape, or form or fashion. Correct. That's the maturity we need in the current dialogue. We continue.
Well, the NSA, as I think you're well aware, I'm sure everyone's aware, everyone on this plane is aware, I should say, is an entity that focuses on foreign threats and individuals who are attempting to do us harm on foreign soil. So that is their purview, but beyond that.
Anybody who's a Middle America OG knows that purview is a funny term.
Yeah.
You remember the Mueller report when he had to testify and he kept saying, outside of my purview. Outside of my purview.
I would point you to the intelligence community.
Okay, so she wouldn't answer the question. She goes, everybody knows that they're a foreign-based blah, blah, blah. And any other answers, we'll just whatever. To me, that's an admission.
So she told him to ask the intelligence committee.
Yeah.
Community. So it's like basically when the team of Star Wars when they went up there and like, oh, the Senate will just fire your face. Like, I am the Senate.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Yeah, I am the Senate. Correct. So Tucker has a point here because this means
purview means jurisdiction.
This means that this is damn near an admission to me that we were looking at that guy because she masterfully, not really that masterfully, didn't answer the question. We continue. Holy moly!
It's like she's reading the Wikipedia entry. Ask them.
Yeah.
But here's what to notice.
What
No
a disaster.
Denial. Of course, she's right that the NSA is chartered to spy on foreigners, not on Americans. That's illegal. And yet the NSA does routinely spy on Americans. It won't call it spying. That's exactly what it is. Millions of Americans. And sometimes it does it for political reasons. And everyone knows this.
Now, everybody in the comment section is talking about Snowden. Yeah. I just want you guys to understand something. Here we go. Here's Eric Snowden. Edward, my bad. Good job, Beluga. There's a lot of things you can read about Snowden, but honestly, this center paragraph here. In May 2013, who was president in May 2013?
I think it was Bush.
Nope.
It's probably Bush.
That was Obama.
Reagan? Oh, it was Obama, you said.
Yeah, it was not Reagan. It was not Bush. It was Obama. Snowden, he had a contract from the NSA from 2009 to 2013. Those are all the Obama years. Snowden flew to Hong Kong where he brought, and I'll tell you why the Obama years are important in a second, where he brought NSA documents to reporters at The Guardian who conducted interviews of Snowden about his discoveries with The Guardian and The Washington Post. Publishing reports on NSA surveillance and data collection activities, Snowden revealed his identity shortly thereafter. In June 2013, the U.S. government charged Snowden with espionage under the Espionage Act and attempted to extradite him.
Wow.
However, the Hong Kong government not taking any action with regard to his extradition, Snowden fled to Russia, where he has since remained. Snowden's discoveries drew open the curtain on many classified NSA programs, including PRISM, an undercover data mining operation that collected private data of users from companies such as Apple, Facebook, Google, and AOL. That's pretty much all of America.
Broad reach of going to AOL.
That's pretty much all of America. Additionally, included in Snowden's exposures was an NSA court order compelling internet service provider Verizon to turn over metadata for millions of its users. That all happened under the Obama administration. Now, am I saying that Bush didn't violate people's American civil rights? Of course not. Bush was the guy that got us the Patriot Act, right?
I knew you were going to mention that.
So I know that. But my point is, that happened during the Obama administration. Why do I keep talking about the Obama administration? Here's why. Because Joe Biden was the vice president under the Obama administration. So Joe Biden was there when we were targeting Edward Snowden for releasing the PRISM info. And Joe Biden was there and in full support of the Verizon stuff, where we turned over a bunch of metadata from Verizon customers so that Obama and his folks could scour them and deal with them. And you remember the whole Tea Party situation. The Tea Party was this far right group. They were kind of like the right wing version of Occupy Wall Street.
Oh. And
they were not violent, but they were using rhetoric like 1776 and all the rest of them. You know, like the stuff that kind of erupted on 1/6. And so Obama was scouring Verizon info for people that were connected to those various groups for whatever reasons, right? So this represents a clear, stepping over the boundaries. And then on top of that, people keep forgetting this, but this was a this to me is one of the most terrifying statements I've ever heard in my life. And why more people aren't reacting to this is beyond me. This is Chuck Schumer. This is at the height of the whole Russiagate situation. Remember, it was the intelligence community that brought us Russiagate. That was the intelligence community. Listen very closely to this exchange.
Opportunity. So I was distraught right after the election, but I'm now actually invigorated by the challenge and our ability to succeed in this challenge.
Let me ask you, I don't know if you have seen this. I don't want to blindside you with this. This is the latest statement, latest tweet, as you were just saying. The president-elect's latest unsolicited pronouncement on the intelligence community. This was his tweet just a little while ago tonight. You see the scare quotes there. The intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange. We're actually told, intelligence sources tell NBC News since this tweet has been posted, that actually this intelligence briefing for the president-elect was always planned for Friday. It hasn't been delayed. But he's taking these
now listen to this
antagonism, this taunting to the intelligence community.
Look, okay, so there's Matt Allen. She's saying he's taking these shots at the intelligence community. Now listen very closely to what Schumer says in response to that.
You take on the intelligence community, they have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. So
you take on the intelligence community, they got 6 ways from Sunday of getting back at you. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Schumer?
Even for a practical, supposedly hard-nosed businessman, he's being really dumb to do this.
What do you think the intelligence community would do if they were motivated?
I don't know, but from what I am told, they are very upset with how he has treated them and talked about them.
This is what
And
people
we
think the
need
election
the
was rigged.
intelligence community. We don't know what's going. Look at the Russian hacking.
The Russian hacking.
Yeah, we need the intelligence community. Without them,
what people
how,
think the election is
how,
rigged.
how could we have our unauthorized wars? Right? Because if it wasn't for the intelligence community, we wouldn't have been able to have an Iraq war. Okay? So we need the intelligence community. So here we go. Here we go. So this is what's happening. I believe that Tucker is being monitored. Tucker is a right-wing talking head. And right now in the media, he's the only one that's still tracking his numbers in the post-Trump era. And he's the only adversarial voice left against Joe Biden in any significant way. So Joe Biden has already been part of an administration that has clearly demonstrated they have no problem with leveraging the NSA and the CIA and all these other intelligence outfits to go after their perceived political enemies. That's a fact. They've already done it. They've already demonstrated it. So if you're a progressive or we're progressives or whatever this whole thing is that we're trying to do, and you're okay with them doing that, you're all right with them doing that, I'm not cool with that.
Pretty white ring to me.
Because if you're talking about fascism, that is the epitome of fascism. You know, I'm kicking myself because when it was confirmed that Biden was going to be the president, I was going to do a 1 hour show on the fascism of the Obama administration. Since everybody was so worried about fascism under the Trump administration, and it wasn't about the fact that the blue folks weren't in power, but we were really worried about fascism. I'm certain now that when you hear about this fascistic move by the, and I remember when Trump would come out and say the media is the enemy of the people.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, Trump is anti-media. And yet now we've got the greatest intelligence apparatus in the world that's targeting this guy. And it's okay because he's not on our team. Again, I've never shot a positive Tucker Carlson video, and I probably never will. I don't consider this a positive Tucker Carlson video. This is about the principle of the fact that I don't care who our political enemies are. We don't get to do this. And there, I want to clear up a misconception. A lot of people are like, oh, the NSA spies on everybody. No, they don't.
They can't.
The NSA does not spy on everybody. The NSA does not have they're not God, okay? They don't have unlimited resource, time, energy, and knowledge, okay? So they, just like anybody else, have to triage who they're going to look at and why. So it would actually be better for all of us if the NSA was spying on all of us, because then it would deplete their resources and they wouldn't be able to find anything really intelligible or actionable. The problem is that they target very specific people. And as Schumer just admitted, that wasn't even a right-wing conspiracy theory. Schumer admitted that. When the intelligence folks feel like you're crossing them, they get you. That's a fact.
Do you think that the Kennedy assassination was by the intelligence community?
I mean, that's
these very vague answers. But,
that's a separate show.
But is that your personal opinion, though? Is that your belief?
I have different opinions.
Is it around that ballpark?
I'm not going to discuss it on. We'll talk about it offline.
Oh, we will.
We'll talk about
Okay.
it offline.
Well, there's that, and then also this is why one of the reasons why I thought the election was rigged, because of this crap right here. I still think it's rigged to this day.
You think the election was rigged because of the NSA is a completely separate entity. How do you think?
What does 6 ways from Sunday mean? Oh, they weren't even allowed to do this domestically. How they? This looks
but what's the connection between the NSA and election results? I don't understand.
The 4th way from Sunday.
Yeah, but you can't just make that up. I mean, okay, we know it, but like what?
I said this is why I think. I'd say that's why. I
yeah,
think.
But where's the evidence?
I didn't say I know it's where I say I think it's.
Where is the evidence? What was the mechanism?
For now, there's no evidence, but maybe my grandchildren get some.
No, I think what happened with the election, DL, is that your man Trump really flubbed he really punted on the Corona thing, and he did a terrible job.
He did fine with Corona.
He didn't, and he did a terrible job managing the George Floyd thing.
Yeah,
I mean, voters like mom, she was gonna vote for him, and then the way he handled the Floyd thing, she was out after that. So
it's true.
Yeah,
but the car thing was fun.
Yeah. So look, look, you know, the progressive space, we've got to mature, and we have to.
You consider yourself a progressive?
No. I kept saying in the previous show that we're not really progressives, and people were like, "Well, you're basically pro-life progressives, whatever." But my thing is, listen, the same people who are going after Tucker are the same people that will go after you or Jimmy Dore. Okay? That's the reason Jimmy Dore ends up on that show, or a guy like Glenn Greenwald, who, by the way, Glenn Greenwald like has buried friends and has a 24-hour security detail over there in Brazil because he's such an honest news guy, right? And the NSA were spying on him. That's a fact. So like those the establishment folks who are using these apparatus, these various apparatus to spy and control everything and control the narrative. We don't know. Look, man, I don't know what's going on in Tucker's life. When they're saying, hey, we couldn't end the show anyway. Well, duh, you couldn't end the show, but you could certainly extort him and blackmail him. You could certainly say, hey, we intercepted this email that I'm sure your wife you wouldn't want your wife to see, right? And so unless you get off the show, right? Unless you get off the show, we're gonna let this thing leak. I mean, there's millions of things that you can do to control a person's behavior when you have that kind of information.
Yeah.
And so, like,
I think this is his personal stuff too, not the Fox News stuff. So
well,
personal texts and emails.
Exactly.
And they're texts. That's another thing. They're texts.
Correct. They're texts. Correct. And that's why when the guy even asked the question, he said, you know, have they been actively listening to Tucker, right? But the original accusation was that they had intercepted emails and texts. So even that kind of subtlety gives you, you know, that room for deniability, and that's one of the big things that you know, that's one of the things that are absolutely necessary in any sort of espionage or tradecraft, is you got to have that sort of deniability. So, look, man, this is a terrible situation. I do believe that we have a serious problem here, a national security threat, and it's the National Security Agency that's the national security threat. We cannot give these people this unlimited power to spy on whoever they want and be at the behest of the Biden administration, or maybe it's a vice versa thing. Either way, this is a real problem. And, you know, Tucker confronted them later and said, you guys still haven't answered the question, and they never will. We know how these guys operate. They're not going to answer the question directly.
You think they'll leak the stuff that they want to leak? Or do you think he followed their plans?
What do you mean?
Do you think they're going to leak the stuff that they want to leak, or do you think he followed their plans?
No, I think there was a whistleblower who was a fan of Tucker, obviously, and you know, let it be known. But they have not done an out-and-out total denial, right? They haven't done a total denial, which in that context is almost certainly an admission of guilt, obviously. I could see what the young fella's saying and why. He's almost certainly wrong, but the system would not have given him much confidence. Seems like a smart boy.
What was he referring to?
I don't know what exactly he's referring to. Maybe he's talking about the Trump. Maybe he's talking about the Trump thing. How you won't let it go that your man lost.
I mean, he's gonna win again, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. He
wouldn't say this is gonna just blow through the nomination.
Yeah, he may win. Yeah, I mean, look, I think right now as it stands, you know, like the Democrats are in serious trouble as far as the 2024 election, because I don't know anybody who really thinks that Biden's going to be able to hold on for the next 3 years. He doesn't want to hold on.
Have you seen him when they're asking him the questions?
Yeah,
he does not. He does not say anything.
Yeah, I agree.
If you would ask Trump, we're going to run again, like, oh, of course I'm running again. Absolutely. This guy, he's like, oh, you know, I mean, I might, you know, let's focus on the now first, okay, guys?
Yeah. But the problem is that Kamala's reputation is taking such a beating that even if he were to say, look, I don't have it in me for another 4 years, let's go with Kamala, I would beat her in a runoff on president. You see, and I can't even run for president. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
people in California don't like her. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
Your home state into Democrat state.
Correct.
You're not going to win anything.
Correct.
That's like Ted Cruz being able to win Texas. Oh, no. He's not from Texas. But
yeah,
like Lindsey Graham being from able to take
So
Texas.
Pete is talking about the election rigging.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was rigged or not. It's my assumption that it was rigged.
It's your assumption that it was rigged.
Yeah. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. It's like...
Look, I will always have a question. Look, I will always have a question mark about that. election or any election that the modern DNC is part of. Like, the idea that it's crazy that they would do something nefarious after the stunt they pulled in 2016, after the stunt they pulled in 2020. Come on, guys. That's ridiculous. Like, it's not outside of their purview.
They have literally rigged elections.
Yeah, they literally rigged the election in 2016 against Bernie. That's a naked fact. So it is not outside of what they're capable of doing. My issue with you saying it's rigged is that 3 Trump-appointed Supreme Court justices vehemently disagreed with it.
That's when I lost hope. I just stopped reading because that was just, I was like, okay, well, the Supreme Court said it.
Right.
You have to have some sense of
finality,
respect for authority. Yeah, finality.
Yeah.
And then when 6 happened, that was a disgrace, bro.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you gonna take down our flag? That's the most important thing in your life. You take it down for what?
Well, yeah, they took down the flag, and then they also had a Confederate flag.
Oh, those filthy traitors.
And a Trump flag. So those
Why
are your.
won't you even put a Trump flag next to a Confederate flag?
Those are your folks.
Those people are murderous traitors.
Those are your folks. Those are your folks, man.
People shouldn't even be buried in the United States.
Those are your folks, though.
Sorry, Confederate lovers.
Those are your folks.
I don't care if it's about nullification or terrorists or whatever we think it's about. Still.
Alex says, you'll get Harris and Buttigieg in 2024. Good luck.
Oh, we got the first gay and female president. Wonderful.
Yeah,
that's something. That's in progress.
Yeah. So now you have a problem with gay people, too?
With
running for president?
I mean, man, I think they would be weak. I'm sorry. I just think that they'd be a little weak, you know?
They'd be weak. I disagree with you. I think if you think about all the bullshit that gay people have had to deal with,
maybe the man in a relationship would be good.
For Pete,
I would ask him, "Are you the man in a relationship?"
You are unbelievable. Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking. Holy shit, you're such a homophobe. But listen, I look at a guy like Buttigieg and I go, look, if you can make it, you could survive as being an out gay dude. And he was also in the military. Pete Buttigieg
was in the military?
Also military.
Well, he obviously gets my automatic right wing respect. Okay. Wait, what did he do in the military? Was he in the Air Force?
No, he wasn't in the Air Force. He was in the Army. I think he's got combat MOS. I think he was in a combat MOS.
Obviously, as a right winger, it's my duty.
But I could argue that a gay dude would be almost perfect for president because they know what it's like to struggle. They know what it's like.
That's not important to me. You know it's not important to me.
Well, that should be important to you because the people who the president is supposed to serve are common people who go through struggle and all the rest of it. You know, you want somebody
goes through struggle. Trump went through struggle.
What struggle did Trump go through? Yeah, it must have been hard when he got that small loan of $1 million.
So are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that even though Trump had no struggle in his life whatsoever, nothing bad ever happened to him?
I don't think that Trump could relate to the struggles of the common man. I think Pete Buttigieg would be able to relate to the struggles of a common person in an extremely unique way because of his orientation. The America that in his formative years, the America that he grew up with is not the same America that even you're growing up with as it relates to LGBT people. I mean, he was a kid around the same time I was a kid when Matthew Shepard was killed and all the rest of it. So
what do you think he would actually
LGBT people can actually
common people?
I think LGBT people can do a hell of a lot.
Like what? Like what exactly?
Well, I just explained that the adversity
would be
the adversity that they're able to overcome is what you want in a leader. I think that goes without speaking. Okay. So
why not Tulsi? Tulsi's great for that.
Yeah, I prefer Tulsi to Buttigieg. I was just dealing with your bullshit homophobic comment about how, he's gay, so he can't be the president or whatever.
I'd say he couldn't be the president.
Or it wouldn't be a good one. You know that what we're talking about.
It's more about the virtue signaling. What?
Alex says, not getting an STD in the 80s was Trump's Vietnam.
I don't get it.
That's great. No, I think you're horrible for that. You're terrible for that.
For what?
Implying that the guy would be a bad president just because he's gay. But anyway, we move on. You're a right winger. That's how you guys are. I get it. I still love you. We got to land the plane though. Here are our final thoughts about the NSA spying on Tucker Carlson. Okay, so what's your final thoughts on the NSA?
Okay, so final thoughts. I mean, this may be a good thing. So, if Trump and DeSantis can turn us around and maybe sort of break up the NSA, appoint new leadership, more honest leadership, maybe even Tulsi, that'd be nice, to sort of, mitigate their power, kill them accountable, make them more transparent. And if Tucker had to have some of his privacy invaded, maybe it'd be worth it for the American people going forward, so when the next Democrat joker comes in, this won't happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, I think I agree with you. I think the big thing is that we have to think about what kind of people we're going to be and what kind of country we want. Do we want a country where everybody's free to say what they want, including people we disagree with, like Tucker Carlson? I just shot a video like a week ago where I clearly unmasked Tucker's clear dishonesty and lies in regard to critical race theory and all the rest of it. I think he's terrible, but I think the government, especially Biden, considering Biden's record, considering Obama's record as far as spying on people, considering what Chuck Schumer said, I don't want to live in America where you have entire agencies that are accountable to no one, that have almost unlimited powers as far as what they're able to do in violation of the Constitution.
Well, that's basically the Supreme Court.
Correct. And again, the NSA and the CIA and all the other alphabet groups are not omniscient. And they are not spying on everybody. There's 328 million people in the United States of America. And trust me, if you're talking about intelligence and all the rest of it, it's extremely difficult even to monitor folks. It's a lot harder than people realize. Let me say it that way. The NSA is not spying on everyone. They target people. That's their job. And so when you get this kind of reaction, they look at everybody, it's like an acquiescence to the fact that we've got groups in our government that are completely violating our Constitution. And I'm sure we all know that, but there needs to be a collective outrage about it. One of the things that these folks are betting on is the fact that we're so bifurcated and we're so tribal as a nation that we won't care as long as it's not happening to our team.
Yep.
That's what they're betting on. And the only way to overcome them is to apply the same principles across the board. That way, we protect ourselves from people more powerful than us. That's the entire idea. So that's where I'm at with it.
Would you akin them to aristocrats that the founding fathers suffer at the hands of in the early days?
I don't really think there's anything to really compare the NSA to.
Oh, I think they're worse than aristocrats.
Oh, by a mile.
Wow, okay.
By a mile, because again, the technology changes everything. The ability that they have to monitor people, and the fact that people...
but the amount of harm that they do to people, is it like similar to the aristocrats were doing to their founding fathers?
No. Look, the founding fathers were not really being harmed by the British government.
Yeah, they were. They got into a war with Napoleon, and they started taxing us because they needed to fund the war machine. Very simple.
No, we're paying more taxes than your founding fathers were.
Okay, well, the thing is, it's our own state. These people got into war with Napoleon.
So what I'm saying is the NSA...
And then decided that they were
what I'm saying is that Britain did nothing compared to what the NSA has done.
Here's the thing, though. They went to war. They have to suffer for war. The Great Britain. They have to pay for their own war. We were not part of that war. Okay.
We were not part of the Spanish-American War?
No.
We were not part of the Spanish-American War?
I'm not talking about the Spanish-American.
That's what the taxation was about.
Didn't even happen.
They said, we helped you in the Spanish-American War, so we're going to increase your taxes.
That's another situation.
That's what instigated the Sons of Liberty to start doing all their terrorist actions.
Terrorist.
Hold on. I don't want to get into an argument with you. All I'm saying is that the NSA has done way more. It's not even calculable.
Okay, if you're trying to compare it to Britain.
If you're trying to compare it to Britain, it's not even close.
It would be a violation of what the founding fathers thought would be a free and fair country. Basically, is what my point was.
Oh yeah, but you wouldn't have to worry about the NSA. They just the taxation system we have right now. They'd kill a lot of people over. I mean, the founding fathers were killers, man.
That's true. I mean, yeah. See, this is why I keep asking for lower corporate tax.
They're murderers. Okay, there you go. Having said that, guys, there it is. Love your neighbor.
Take care of each other.
Middle America.
Appreciate your founding fathers on the 4th of July. We are the media.